Let's kick it old school!
Yeah!
Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
It is Old School Essentials, the further adventures of the Thunderous Fury session
69, dudes!
Time for the recap.
Nice.
We are in the morning of going to Lady Haramore's dinner that evening. Unfortunately, Karn decides his apprentice needs a little more training before he shows him off in high society. And Basil Wilberforce decides the apprentice needs a little more training before he shows her off in high society. So they decide not to go with us, but that's okay. Clintock suggests buys beer to bring with us because, of course, that's a good substitute for a paladin and a thief. In any case, Jantor goes out that morning to sample brews because he can think of nothing else better than to get drunk before a formal dinner, because that's a really great idea. We managed to make our way along Harrow Road for a bit, led by, of course, Sir Rickon. Orion convinces Jantor to give the horse its favorite food and forces Jantor to walk in front so the horse follows him, now that it is friendly to Jantor, just to get the bastard to sober up for the dinner. We talked to the friar about perhaps going to the well, and he says he's going partway there with a small detour, because he has several people to bury along the way. And we ask him how he remembers stuff from Fairy, and he reveals his brilliant secret, which the rest of us really should have thought of, which is write shit down while you're inside. Gosh, who'd have thought? In any case, as we're closing in on Harramore Keep, we hear the groaning lock. It is indeed a lock, a deep inland lake, and it is indeed groaning very loudly. And we are told that no boats can go in the lock because they either get smashed or sunken or simply lost. So it is not a navigable lock. We get to the gate and a figure comes running at us, doesn't recognize us, but recognizes Sir Rickon, so it at least doesn't evolve into a fight immediately. And we get escorted into the keep. It's a bit cold and drab, but there are a lot of wall hangings for historical scenes. Obviously, this place has been around a little while. But we freshen up and get to the dining room. The lady is there, along with the little girl we rescued, and this balding man in a suit, and lots of guards around. Lady Harramore asks about our missing members, and we tell them what happened to them. She notes that the local religious leaders intend to add Saint Cuthbert to the list of saints. He indeed thanks us graciously for the rescuing the kids. We find out that Sir Rickon was not actually active knight. He did something that got him put on probation, but since he has brought the girl back and brought us in, he is now fully restored as a knight of the house and has a squire appointed. Yay, Sir Rickon. Wonderful meal of cured veal, white beans, cabbage and a tomato soup, jellied lamprey, and troll moss. Of course, Jantor saying wonderful things about the food because he's still starved from his oatmeal days. The reaction to the jellied lamprey is somewhat mixed. Those who won't like their protein for training tend to like it, and everybody else sort of poo-poos it, but whatever, there you go. So Clintock, at the end of the meal, sort of gets around to asking about the council and very gently probing Lady Harramore about her current opinions of the council. She doesn't say they're wonderful. She doesn't say they're terrible. I mean, they're sort of there. They're there, they do their job. And so Clintock sort of tries to very carefully lead her in the direction of, some of these guys are not who you think they are, but he doesn't actually get into specifics. So Orion asks about the spirit that we encountered and the Droon, and Lady Harramore knows very little about it except the general history that we have already heard. So Orion asks her if he can look in her library And the lady, after some hemming and hawing, agrees. But of course, I will not be allowed to take things. Just look while I'm here. It's going to be a late night. Felix asks about Sir Three Moons Waxing. She doesn't know him, but offers to write a letter on Felix's behalf, talking about his bravery and action so that he can indeed gain fame that way. Let's see. Clintock asks for a tour of the keep, and Lady Aramore indeed takes him on one. Felix convinces Sir Rickon to spar. Jontor asks, of course, about tapping the keg that we brought, and ends up drinking with the squires. So Felix and the knight go for sparring. Orion goes to the library. Clintock gets escorted around the keep by Lady Aramore, and things go fairly normally for a while. As it's getting past midnight, Zophan wanders around and checks out the layout and gets intercepted by a servant and directed back. But Orion finds, very little actually, but he does find something that talks about the well and determines that it indeed will remove all curses. However, it may apply its own enchantment, and the enchantments are not necessarily good. Not only that, they're magical beings living in the water around the well, because it's truly a lake, not a well, and they may object to our presence, but the local townspeople may have some idea of how to talk to them and placate them. So great. Orion hears a door to the library open, and it's Lady Aramore who's asking about the book he's reading, and he tells her. And then he goes back to reading. While she goes in the back of the library, he hears a click and groan, and then Lady Aramore doesn't come back. So, in the meantime, everybody is going to bed, but Orion comes in a bit late and taps Clintock on the shoulder and says, "Hey, there's a hidden corridor in the library. Thought it might be your thing." Clintock agrees, goes, finds the hidden corridor, goes down a long tunnel that ends up opening out onto the groaning lock. He hears flute playing, and when he carefully peeks around and looks, Lady Aramore is floating in the air, playing a flute with some kind of huge jellyfish-like creature behind her. An hour passes while she plays the flute, and Clintock, instead of trying to hide and go back into the passage, decides to greet her, and she apparently doesn't mind. What was it? Dances with jellyfish? There you go. She dances with jellyfish. Come morning, there are some tired people, but we sleep in a little. We get food to go, and Sir Rickon comes along with his new squire. We make our way back with no particular encounters.
Did you cover the part where Clintock hit on Lady Aramore?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's the only missing fact.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How can I ever forget those moments? I must have blanked it out in, sympathetic agony, because of course Clintock gets on Lady Aramore.
She did say that she was an avid reader, and her favorite book was called A Tale for Two, sort of a historical novel. Let's see. Clintock did go and see Master Peabody, and he's waiting on his new duds to be made, and he is to bring over a keg, as Clintock said, of his new sample brew, because that was part of the discussion that he's got some good ideas. He should be brewing beer. And Felix did get a sealed note from Lady Aramore to Three Moons Waxing about the great deeds that you did. The friar also mentioned that the children have been either returned or sent on their way, the other kids, back to where they're supposed to be. And he did visit the house of Remo Frother, who was the Mossling dwarf who you encountered, who had the weird blueprints of some contraption. It was some bird clock thing. And he went there and nobody was at the house. It looked like maybe 20 or 30 years had passed, and it was all dusty. He went to just, tell his next of kin, but there were none. And he said he would mention something to Lady Aramore about that, and maybe to use the property, however she wanted to. And you use the bird messaging service, BMS, to send a message to Fort Vulgar to let Bruco know, one of the dock workers, that he should come to Prigwort.
Oh, right. Another scheme.
Yes, another scheme, another Clintock scheme, because
Because we can never have enough Clintock
you
ski.
can have a Clintock
There
scheme.
was, I mean, there was something about Bruco.
Oh, wasn't he passing messages or a spy for somebody?
So you met him in Fort Vulgar. He was going to arm wrestle Basil, and that's when the Dockmaster came in and pushed him out of the way. He never got to do that. And then when Clintock was speaking with one of the houses, I'm trying to think what house it was now. There we go. You were speaking with House Summerfish. I think that was the party. And then the woman came up to you and she was basically saying that House Oberon, the reason that they're so famous and the reason they get it is because they hire bandits that, sabotage other houses. And these people get caught, but, they just get let go by the Captain Hogwash, I think his name was, who's kind of like supposed to be the local constabulary. But, they just let him go. And that the name Bruco came up. He was one that had been there and been arrested, but he got away. And she said, I think he's in Fort Vulgar as a dock worker or something. But Basil Bessex would know, because he had a vision with the dockmaster, that the dock workers had been hired by some strange dwarf-like person who came into Fort Vulgar and hired them all for double what she was paying them, and please don't kill them because, they may be terrible dock workers, but they're the only ones I got.
Yeah, that's right.
They suck at their jobs, but they're the only ones I've got to do the job.
Right.
Talk about employment security.
What we may do is cut to the group going to the well, because when we cut to the other group, there's only going to be two. So depending on what happens, we may just kind of focus on the travel portion of the well and all that stuff this session. And then we'll cut back to obviously Clintock, because there's stuff going on in Prigwort that you definitely need to be privy to. For Dustin and Paul, if necessary, when there's chance things could be necessary, you'll just get a character to play. So
Can I roll one?
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let me know. I will have one ready.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to play some of these other classes.
I mean, I still have that Trilby character somewhere.
I got no problem with that.
I mean, that or, we could be worried about the dangers for our new retainers and leave them behind, and I can play one of them or something.
That's up to you.
The easiest is if we leave the retainer and the squire behind this
Okay.
time. Yeah, and I'll play one of those two. I'll play Jeremiah.
Okay. Sir Rickon finds out that you are leaving the squire behind. He will look after him since, he is a squire. And he's very green, and the brewmasters and everybody are kind of oblivious, but Sir Rickon and House Harrimore are very concerned that Prigwort will be attacked by crookhorns. And he just doesn't want Jeremiah roaming around to be cannon fodder for the waves of crookhorns that may approach.
Yeah, and he can get a little training while he's there.
Okay. I mean, granted, you don't have to pay him because he is a former criminal who's being redeemed.
Who's being scared straight. That's
Yep.
exactly what happened.
Yes. Okay. So Sir Rickon, you will keep Jeremiah, the bullfrog, aka the bullfrog, under his watchful eye. All right. Are you taking the goat named Jerky?
Of course.
All right. So you have the goat.
We got it. We gotta have, we have to have a backup plan.
I don't like it when people eat my yak. It's happened too often. And now we're doing it to the poor goat too.
Oh, so yeah.
Anything you want to do in Prigwort before you leave here on the 17th, since you guys have decided to march out?
Make sure we got food for the trip.
Do we know anything about crookhorns, like aka what their desired food might be?
Desired food might be.
Your
Yeah,
flesh,
probably.
your blood.
Yeah, he's probably right. Yeah.
That's their desired food.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Briar's going with you, and your other retainer is going to go with you, the thief.
No, I was gonna.
Oh, you leave them both back?
Yeah, and then she can help.
Sir Rick's not excited about this. He's like, oh my God, wait a second, you leave me with her? Oh, yeah. She's going to try to keep Jeremiah and Bethel away from each other. We have a reformed thief with a thief. Yeah, it's just not a bad.
Oh, I figured she would try to hang out with Clintock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's picking up. She is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A higher level player there. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. basically you guys can travel 2 hexes a day. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because a hex, I think, is 6 miles, like 12 miles a day on foot. Nice day. Bid Clintock, John Tor, Jeremiah, and Bethel. Oh boy. Clintock definitely does have a retinue. One he can very much influence.
Oh yeah, that'll probably appreciate him. And like you said, Clintock is treating John Tor right. So John Tor is going to be well inclined to whatever Clintock decides. I mean, not go out and stab that guy next door, but
Right. I mean, yeah.
if he comes up with something that seems, reasonable and feasible, sure, that sounds fine. But never take away his beer.
Out of Prigwort, you head south on this wonderful day, leaving behind any troubles or issues that Prigwort may have. You are headed to Castle Brackenwold, basically because the friar has, I know at least 1, maybe 2 bodies, the remains of, that need to be buried there. You will get basically through 2 full travel days, unless you guys decide to explore the area, which, the friars aren't going to stop you, but, it seems like you're on sort of kind of a time crunch. You don't really want to spend a whole lot of time putzing around. Let's go, Russell. D6 roll. Let's see if we, you avoided every random encounter last session, and went pretty smooth.
Let me get my real dice instead of the virtual. Survey says 5.
So you're basically making it through a tangled forest, a road that leads south. You pass a few travelers on their way. The only thing you would notice about some of these other travelers when they pass is that they have fresh baked goods.
Oh.
As in like pastries and tarts and things like that. You can smell them like they recently were purchased.
We'll definitely be asking about that. Where did they get those? Those smell wonderful.
Oh, just up the road, there's some lovely ladies who are selling pastries.
Felix pipes up 50% chance they're hags.
Oh, I'm guessing like closer to 90. So do we go off-road here and try to avoid them? Or honestly, those things can curb stomp us if put any serious effort in. So
I mean,
hold us.
that was a long time ago. I've gotten better. I don't know about you.
I must say I've gotten a little better, but I don't think I've gotten winning against hags better. But as always, I will abide by the will. I will abide by the will of the party, but this smells like trouble.
I just turned to Basil and be like, fancy a meat pie?
Yeah, I was wondering when someone was going to be ready to eat meat. Starts looking at jerky.
What? You gorged on lamprey the other night and venison.
Yeah, I was sweating all night. It gave me the meat sweats.
The meat sweats.
The meat sweat.
But, I got to get my macros in, so.
Okay.
Besides, who's better to take on the hags around here if not us?
Yeah, they're probably here for us, which is the issue.
I don't know. Maybe they won't recognize us.
That doesn't seem very likely.
Let's just say I'm not buying a pie, no matter how appetizing they smell.
I'm going to buy a pie. Basil pulls out money. How much are the pies?
One of the travelers says, "Oh, it's not much. Just 5 silver, I think."
I don't know.
Yeah, you should. I mean, you're coming from a world that silver is basically rare. So
5 silver sounds like a whole lot.
yeah, with your silver pieces that you found, yeah, they use silver in Dolmenwood.
Whoa, that is an interesting point.
Mm.
We can change gold for silver here. And when we make it back to the Ape Empire, we'll have increased our money quite a bit.
Yeah, Basil just thought of that too. He could get into a
Yeah,
legitimate courtesy
Sort
trade.
of look at each other and go, coin exchange? Coin exchange. I'm thinking coin exchange.
Well, you also have to remember the silver that you got was from the Underdark, and it was they were ancient coins. So there was kind of that aspect to it as well.
Okay.
Right. But but still silver is uncommon enough in the
Correct,
Ape
yeah.
Empire that it is more valuable than gold,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. I mean, that would be a fact, yes.
Yeah, I agree. There's a little bit of a project here.
How'd the campaign end? The exchange rate, they turned the economy upside down and just retired, and that was it.
Ooh, Could we break
Apparently-
the economy of the ape empire like that?
Oh,
Some of us are getting into getting squires and keeps and followers levels.
How much gold is a silver?
it's 10 silver equal 1 gold.
That lovely 10 to 1 that never existed historically, but of course, fantasy always does it. There you go.
So he'll hand over 50 gold
To who?
to the guy who's selling the meat pies.
Oh, you haven't got there yet. Yeah, you've asked somebody passing by, and then
Oh,
they told you. It's like,
gotcha.
why are you handing me this money? Hold on, wait a second. Who are you?
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Hey, if you want to give me 50 gold, that's no problem.
They said there were some young ladies down the road that are selling baked goods, and that's when we went into are they hags?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hags. Why is this even a debate?
They're hags.
I mean, not every woman on the road is a hag. Some of them are pretty. Well, I think we have to keep going. Jerky isn't going to move by himself.
This is true.
My vote's for pies.
It's not gonna vote. It's not gonna bake itself either.
Ryan goes, I wanted to tell stories about interesting lives, not actually lead them and get hag kissed. Oh well, I guess I can get used to my breath smelling like mothballs.
Not every woman we meet on the road is gonna be a hag. Don't worry, Dusty.
I worry not, because I know you will be in front of me leading the charge
Absolutely. And you'll be behind me handing me flasks of oil.
and using them myself. Thank you very much. Still has his custom oil bandolier, and he keeps it stocked because it turned out to be the most damn useful thing that level 1 could ever have.
When in doubt, set it on fire.
Ain't that the truth?
If you can't shoot it with an arrow, hack it with a sword, or fuck it, then burn it.
The friar looks at here's this discussion and says, "Are we concerned that these young ladies may be hags?
We're being pursued by hags. Not exactly pursued, but they keep their eyes on us.
No,
And they show up sometimes as in the guise of young ladies. So yes, we are somewhat concerned that it may indeed be, these young ladies may indeed be hags.
But you know, a couple of times they warned us of danger.
Yes, they want us for themselves.
I don't know if that would be so bad, would it?
I mean, it is nice to feel loved.
Are you your brother? Are you going after the hot mamas, even when they turn into ugly old hags?
Someone's got to channel ethics around here.
Yep.
Honor Essex's memory by going after his pursuit. Yep.
Well, let's continue to those meat pies.
And you notice as you walk down the road, it's a thick forest, and there are all these little paths off into the forest. And then you turn a corner, and there are 2 young ladies there. They have a basket. They are selling whatever kind of goods that they have. You can smell the fresh baked goods as you turn the corner.
Are any of them sweet?
Oh, weary
Is that
travelers.
two of them?
Weary travelers. We are selling baked goods.
You said 2 of them?
Yes.
Hair colors?
One looks brunette. The other you can't tell because it's covered in a hairnet.
Oh, I can't remember. Which hag did I kiss? Was it the brunette or the redhead? I don't remember either. All right. So we in range of them, or?
Oh yeah. You can see them, and they look welcoming, inviting.
Let's go up and have a pastry of questionable origin.
Felix will try and be non-obvious and making sure that there's no third person that might jump out and rob the group
Okay.
in any opportunity.
Yeah.
So whatever that means, that's what he's doing.
Ryan's going to go up and say, well, an incredibly fortunate encounter to find some wonderful goods along the road. What do you have to sell?
Oh, well, we have these pastries, these raspberry tartlets, a few fancy
They're-
tartlets.
Do you have anything besides the raspberry tartlets?
We have some cinnamon cookies as well.
I will buy 1 of each, but only if you give me your blessing as well.
They look at each other like, we're a blessing of who? I mean,
Very well.
mother makes these, so
Very well. Let us just say that you wish these baked goods to bring us a happy day and good fortune.
we wish these baked goods to bring you happy day and good fortune. Yes.
Okay. And I'm sort of short on change. How much extra silver have you got if I change it for gold?
What are you looking for?
He's starting his scheme about, getting his hands on as much silver as he can.
Let me see how much they got on here. They only have like 12 silver pieces. They're counting them.
Oh, well, I'll give him a gold and get changed then.
Okay. They give you 3 silver pieces.
So are they not aware that the currency is reversed? That like do they think that
They've never heard of the Ape Empire. We dealt with this before. We mentioned the Ape Empire to what's her name, BB, the new, and she's like, "What Ape Empire? What are you talking about?"
gotcha?
Nobody around here has heard of the Ape Empire. Chances are we wandered off the edge of the world, or at least, some pocket dimension. Who knows?
Anyone else?
Yeah. Do you have any meat-based pastries?
Give me a D6 roll.
4.
I'm sorry, we don't. Is this a special request that you have?
Well, I tend to prefer the more savory baked goods, but it's part of my training diet.
Give me a 2D6 roll, Basil, basics. And I'll give you a +1 because you got your bulking matching arms now.
This is an 8.
8.
Slightly above average.
He's got more muscle to put on these days. I can't remember. Does the rest of the party remember the fact that this has changed, or is this just a complete reality rewipe?
No, you guys know that it's changed. Yeah.
But he doesn't. He treats it as like, what? I've
Correct,
I've
yeah.
always done this.
They seem a little cautious. They say, well, maybe we'll have to, if you're down the road again, maybe this is something we can get for you.
I would love that. Hopefully we cross paths again.
The older one looks at they're all pretty young. Looks at the one who probably is younger and says, we'll make a note of it. We'll tell Mother about this.
See, that mother thing bothers me.
It doesn't perturb Basil. He's just like, oh, these women really like their mom.
Yeah, Felix steps up and can I get a dozen cookies for the road?
Let's see. I'm gonna roll soon. They sell you the rest. They have 3 left. We are so sorry. We only have 3 cinnamon cookies left.
Well, I'm sorry, because all I have is gold pieces. So how many is it?
They give you a raspberry tartlet and call it even, if you want.
All right. Oh, yeah, I'll take this. Thank you.
Well, thank you. They give side looks to each other. Like, that guy's kind of weird. His face was kind of lanking in and out at times. Okay.
All right. Well, sometimes a duck is not a duck, unless it's, as Karn was thinking, it's the mother that's the issue.
Well,
No.
it just worries me because that makes 3, and we ran into some tags. You just got me concerned.
Well, the friar looks around and he's like, everybody's getting food. So he gives her a gold piece and buys 2 raspberry tartlets. That is, thank you, friar. Blessings to the one true God on you. Thank you. And he starts to scarf it down. And as soon as he does, he kind of looks around at everybody else like, oh,
Oh, yeah, I'm eating them, not saving them.
I bought 2 if anybody would like to try one.
I got my own.
Got my own.
I got all the sweets that I can eat.
So the friar is eating it and then sharing some of it with the goat.
Karn's, you should get one and then put your fork into it or your knife.
That knife and turn it into a piece of
Turn it into cake. Just right in front of their eyes.
Wow.
Like, wait a minute. What did we do?
No, that's why he's not buying any, because he's got all that he needs.
So they are sold out, and they thank you and sort of step back into the woods, bound down one of those paths, and kind of vanish out of sight.
After after they are gone for like a couple minutes, Zophan he's going to not follow them, but he's going to like kind of see the path like that they went down and check for footprints. Yeah, check for footprints or like some trace that they weren't like incorporeal or didn't just like, they weren't ghosts or specters or something.
Evidence, okay.
They actually walked down this path.
Yeah, if you walk a little bit into the woods, the woods are fairly thick, and it's, a lot of cover, so it's dark. But you do spot places where you would suspect was a footprint.
Okay, that satiates Zophan for now.
Okay. All right. So the friar's like, well, it tastes good. Well, he says he would say, oh, the goat likes it, but the goats eat anything. So shall we continue?
Yeah.
Certainly no place to have to camp if we don't need to.
Is there a particular campsite that we should be looking out for?
My goal is to get to the Wayside Monastery. That would probably be a good place to rest. There's still a ways to go.
Let us not delay.
Yes. Dustin, give me a d6 roll.
6.
So, well, like 5 hours pass, nothing happens. You encounter a couple of people on the road. A few will ask if the girls were out selling pastries. I don't know, you inform that they sold out and they were all sad.
My friends bought them out.
And
They're local treasures, aren't they?
you begin to enter a different area of the Dolmen Wood. The forest is not as thick. And there are all these songbirds chittering about. There's lots of birds flittering through, as you're walking down the path, you can see them cross and in the trees and chittering, and they have festive colors because it is spring. Paul, give me a d6 roll.
5.
5 hours passed, nothing eventful has happened other than stopping to take a break here or there. This area seems a little bit more inviting than that last part of the road, Sweeting Road you were in, where you weren't sure if going off the path or down those passages would be a smart thing to do. And let's see, Wes, give me a d6 roll.
Yep. 6.
Okay. So as the day begins to close, you have reached the Wayside Monastery. The friar sort of leads you off to the path, and there is just a footpath that he takes you. And you see an old stone building, and there's an oak door, and above it is a sign that says the Refuge of St. Keye, Pilgrims Welcome.
A
And he
holy
says,
place.
well, yes, Karnstone. And he opens the door, and there's a bunch of benches and trestle tables in here, and there are a few guests who are eating some food. So the friar kind of brings everybody in. This is the common room if you wish to get some supper, and we should get a place to rest.
This looks great. Yes. Yes. I could use an ale. I'm thirsty
Oh.
with all that walking.
The friar taps you, but yes, you've come to the right place. Keye's Balm is the monastery ale served here. I will buy you a drink. And he walks up to like the serving area, and you see him flash some money. You see the guy look. I'll buy all of you an ale. Yes.
Water for me.
Yes.
I'll drink his.
Oh, you beat me to it, Felix. So you each have a pint of Keye's Balm.
He's bomb, huh?
Yes.
You will, start nursing it.
Felix just throws the first one entirely back in like one gulp and then drinks the other one like normal.
Okay.
Orion drops 10 gold and says, ale for the house until the gold runs out.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Nabler.
Okay. So you dropped a gold?
Yeah, 10.
10 gold?
Yep.
So
Wow. Because charge 1 silver a pint.
So that's
That's 100.
pints.
That's
And if people can't drink that much, then the monastery gets the rest of the gold. I don't care.
all right. Yeah. The person serving says there are drinks for everyone for this evening. And everybody, those who are there, let out a cheer. They're excited. Free fucking beer. We heard that somewhere.
That takes me back.
The friar will come up to you, Karn. He points to a door. He says, that is the chapel of St. Keye if you wish to say your evening prayers.
Porch right away. Many thanks. I feel like extra prayer will be necessary tonight, thanks to my friends Orion.
Yes.
These poor inebriated souls led to sin and debauchery.
We so infrequently find pleasant places like this along the road. I just felt celebratory because of it.
To each their own, of course. I shall just pray for everybody's souls.
And livers.
Yeah, can't forget about the livers.
The livers can tend to themselves.
So a door opens, and a wispy-haired man in his 60s, wearing, clerical attire. He is clad in rolls of fat. He is a large man, and he says, I heard something about drinks. Oh, he walks over and grabs an ale and spots the friar in your group and comes over and says, oh, Friar Fieldgrave, it's unfortunate that you have arrived at this time. You missed the evening mass. And the friar just kind of raises an eyebrow like, oh, how unfortunate.
Okay, something going on there, but whatever.
I have not introduced myself. I'm sorry. I am Abbott Whiston Spatlard.
Are you in charge of this establishment?
Yes, friend. Yes, I am in charge of the Wayside Monastery and the chapel and the common, all these areas to help travelers who are headed to Castle Brackenwold and Prigwort. This is a place for them to rest. I don't think I've ever seen any of you, of course, except the friar. Most times,
are indeed
most of the
places of our
times, the friar who accompany the friar, he usually has he kind of looks in a sack. Friar's like, yeah,
The friar has introduced us to this place.
it's good to see that the friar is with those who are upright and able to walk. Ambulatory.
Yes, he's doing quite good work.
No, and he downs that ale as you're talking to him and reaches over and grabs another one. Yes, who do I owe the thanks who has bought drinks for all the weird travelers?
So Ryan Attacapper, bard and adventurer. I decided that your place deserved a little extra appreciation because indeed it is difficult to find such a nice establishment sometimes.
Thank you.
I'm Zophan. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Those are extraordinary pants you wear, Zophan. They're sort of he's
He's
drinking, he's like, they're enchanting. I'm mesmerized by them. Where did you find those? Certainly not I don't know of such luxurious goods that come. Maybe Castle Brackenwold, maybe some traders. I don't know.
Well, our group travels far and wide, and there are many strange lands with strange customs and amazing clothes.
In my younger days, I could have fit in those pants. I could have married Nicole and spent a life in Prigwort with the brewmasters. She
How
was
old
my
were you,
childhood
7?
sweetheart. It would have been, she was a flower amongst thorns. But alas, I served the one true God. Oh, yes. And he grabs another drink. Ah, praise the one true God. And your pants.
Praise the pants. Oh God.
Yes, praise the one true God. Here, have another ale.
Oh, are you saying that I'm a two-fisted drinker?
Well, you should be.
Oh, well, I am. You are correct in that assessment. And who are you?
I am Basil Wilberforce at your service.
Basil Wilberforce. Can't say that we have met before.
Not somebody that you would probably know. That's for sure.
Well, it is good to meet you, Basil Wilberforce.
It is very good to meet you. How's your ale coming?
It is fantastic.
Basil grabs his own and he lobs some back. Very good. It's quite a treat to be able to have something like this.
This is good, but it just doesn't match the stuff in Prigwort.
Oh, well, we do our best here, for sure.
Them spiking words.
I can see that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There is food.
Do you have any goats? Any goat meat?
No, tonight we are serving onion sandwiches, Hoke's pudding, a pudding of mallow and locally foraged mushrooms, and of course, sausage and mash.
I'll have the sausage. Sounds great.
Good choice.
Felix pipes up in the background and says, "Can I have it all? Just throw it on a plate."
What will you be having?
Another ale! And he grabs another one and starts drinking.
I'm with Felix there. Maybe Orion's channeling John Tor this evening. You know, we don't often get places with good food, so it's always nice to stock up. It's not gluttony. We're stocking up while we can.
Yeah, the meal is going to be like 3 silver. For Felix, it's going to be basically a gold piece to get all 3 dishes.
All right.
It's not expensive. And yeah, and he is just like down in these ales.
Surely our generosity knows no bounds. At least for tonight's tab.
It is very kind of you. May I ask what's the meaning of your journey? I would assume that the friar is headed to probably someplace to bury some poor soul. The rest of you, I'm unsure. I don't want to pry.
Rather by strange accident indeed, and decided that Friar was the most amiable companion and we should look around and enjoy the local scenery while we're here. Because we do indeed need to leave at some point.
Day's journey down to the Castle Brackenwold. Really hate that you missed evening mass, but I think with another ale I could recant you with a special sermon, if you wish.
I'll give you 2 if you don't.
I'll take you up on that offer.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
So you, sir, seem to be some sort of holy man. You haven't partaken in the ale. So what I would assume that you are staying away from such things. Quiet contemplation at this time.
I am in a quiet contemplation here. I've traveled well with my prayers and my friends, but finding a holy place is quite important to me. Tell me, do you spend much time in the cloisters?
Yes. Yes, that's the right answer. Yes, of course I do.
Now, this is the guy who's all clad in fat, correct?
Yes, and
Yeah.
this is the Abbott. Yeah, and he's crushing.
Now, do I smell the beer on his breath?
The ale? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think perhaps, my friend, you may need to spend a little bit more time in the cloisters and less in the tap room. Your health is going to get away from you like this.
He puts his arm around you. You see, that's why they're one and the same. But I'm sure you want to say your prayers to Saint Keye, if you wish. And he points in the common room, like in the corner, which, maybe you've noticed, but there is a statue. It looks like it's made of like wood, but it's twice his size. And it's an image of somebody with a tome and a quill, like looking down somewhat in a reprimanding gaze at everyone. It's like, that is Saint Keye, the chronicler.
I approve of his sternness.
Oh, he kind of looks at you. Didn't realize he needed your approval, but
well, it's not that he needs my approval. It's just that I am a follower of Saint Cuthbert myself.
Oh, yes, Saint Cuthbert.
Yes.
I have not heard that name, and I've never heard that name. Do tell. This Cuthbert.
And you know how Cuthbert is. For every round hole, there's a square peg that can be hammered into it.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yes.
He's just like puzzling over those words.
So this Cuthbert, he was a carpenter?
No, but he just was very strict and believes that, straying from the path can be fixed with a smack upside the head.
Oh, okay.
When the faithful start losing faith just a little bit, perhaps they need a little bit of guidance. Sometimes you can give them a nudge. Sometimes you have to give them a rap on the bean.
Sounds
Discipline.
Discipline, yes. And this is your saint.
Of course.
You know what I say to that? He could have used an ale. Grabs another one, starts to drink. Sounds like he needs to lighten up. Did I tell you of Nicole? She was a flower among thorns. Could have stayed in Prigwort, married her, enjoyed the brewmasters and the beer tasting, the idyllic life that we were to have together. A childhood sweetheart she was. But I am here, serving the one true God. I am not remiss about that. No, not with this ale in my hand and my newfound friends, who are graciously buying everyone drinks.
There's a 5-beer limit on this this generosity.
5-beer limit. Well, we have this saint, this Karn. You who follow Saint Cuthbert don't drink, then, and looks at Felix. We will split his 5. So I think maybe you'll get 1 out of that. I think I'm up to like 8 now.
This guy's all in.
Basil Wilberforce puts an arm around his neck and says, "Here, have one of mine."
How gracious. How gracious of you.
Does he have pockets?
Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
How drunk does he appear to be right now?
For a normal person, yeah, he'd be like passing out, but this is no normal Abbott.
He's well acclimated, right?
Yeah, he is well preserved, so to speak, after years of drinking. He's feeling good.
Liver must be, never mind.
Well, I do entreat all of you to enter the chapel, if you wish, of St. Keye and say a prayer for your travels, whether it be now or later or sometime in the future. And thank him for this wonderful meal, and may you have safe travels.
And may you see Nicole again.
He looks wistfully into your eyes.
It kind of makes Basil feel uncomfortable.
Yes, it is. It's very uncomfortable. Did I tell you she was a rose among thorns?
I thought you said that she was a thorn among roses. But
Aren't all roses among thorns? You have me quite confused.
Yes.
I look around the room. Is anybody like any of these commoners paying attention to us, or are they just like trying to stay as far away from him as possible?
They're eating their food and drinking, and they got to look like, hey, he's over there. Just don't do anything stupid. Just keep to yourselves.
Don't let him come over here and tell
Right,
you.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't let the sloppy drunk with the story we've all heard 30 times come over here and bother us. Great.
after a while, like Zophan might notice, might pick up on that and say, "It looks like that table keeps looking over in our direction. I'm sure they're looking to catch up with you."
You're sicking him on somebody
Yes.
else, you bastard.
If you don't mind.
I think they've only had they've only had like three of their 5 limits. So
Oh, yes. Well, to the swift go the spoils. He grabs the ale out of your hand. I will speak to them. And walks over, lumbers over with a drink. Have I told you about Nicole? She was a dandelion among weeds.
So confused. I thought a dandelion was a weed. I say it quiet enough so only my friends can hear.
Yeah, so he's at the other table, and they're like, somebody must have sent him over here.
I look at the friar and say a little quietly so that it doesn't carry very far. Is that the reason you were somewhat, shall we say, cautious about the abbot? Is this a common habit of his?
Oh, well, yes, he does enjoy his ale. And his evening mass is very, very boring. It would lead you to drink.
Still, I would be remiss if I stayed here at all and did not at least check out the chapel.
He said, I would encourage all of you to come and say a prayer.
If I must.
I don't wish to force anything you. I apologize.
That's where he's headed. I'll accompany him and say a little prayer,
It certainly won't do this group any harm to say a prayer now and then.
No, it won't.
Give a little thanks to Cuthbert while you're at it.
do we really have to? I mean, we've already given charity, a lot of charity, to this evening. Isn't that prayer enough?
I mean, it would just be foolish not to go someplace with such historic significance and not look around, I mean, I'm a bard. I'm supposed to pick up all of the fun stuff going, the fun and interesting tales. So the rest of you can do as you will, but I'm certainly going to wander around, say a little prayer, and see if I can't turn up some interesting stories about the place.
That's a fair point. I guess I'll go. I don't know about any prayers, but I'll at least observe the chapel.
So you enter a hallway, and there's a bunch of yellow lit candles. The friar says that the remains of St. Keye are rumored to be in the basement underneath.
I'll ask him if he has any if he has any stories about the, about the history or deeds of the saint or of the local chapel.
He just says that St. Keye was known as the chronicler, and you can hear the abbot all the way down the hallway talking very, very loud. So it's basically, there's some script, and it's written in kind of like an old liturgic language that's written on these stone walls, and he says this is the second chronicle of St. Keye. There is kind of a hastily painted picture of him, very faded. Looks very similar to the wood statue that you saw. He's holding a book, wearing, clerical robes, kind of giving you a gaze of possibly judgment.
He was just constipated when the guy was doing the statue. You're making me stand still for how long? Come on, I gotta go.
Just a small little bench. It's not much of anything. There are lots of yellow candles down this hallway and around here that are all lit. And there is one person in here saying a prayer.
Does Karn know anything about this saint?
No, you've never heard of this Saint Key.
No.
So if you are going to give a prayer to Saint Key, then I need to know that.
We'll thank Saint Keen for the opportunity to have a holy house of the one true God to be able to give his praise to Saint Cuthbert from.
Orion will pray to St. Key.
Okay.
Felix does, but he prays to Saint Key that his blade may tell stories that will be chronicled for the ages.
Karn also adds in a prayer to Saint Keen for the abbot. He feels like he's straying from the way and might need a little discipline from his saint. Well, hands-on demonstration of why he should abstain from the drinking and perhaps take up jogging, swinging a sword. That's great exercise.
Orion will point out to Karn that we will be here in the morning. You could always rouse the abbot for your usual morning exercises.
And prayers. Yes, this would be a good example for him.
Yes, the abbot would indeed benefit mightily from your example.
I think I shall do this. And when he says that, Basil Wilberforce pricks up his ears.
Okay, if you are of a let's see, spell casting class, roll under your wisdom.
Does that mean Karn rolls? He doesn't get
No.
spells until 9.
You don't need to roll.
Okay.
Technically, bards are druidic.
Right, not worried about that.
Okay.
So it'd be probably Basil, Besix, Basil Wilberforce, Zophan, and Felix, right? Yeah.
Basil Wilberforce critically fails with a D20 on my low roll.
Wow.
That I never
Wow.
get over a 10 on.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Nice. There you go.
Felix manages to save.
Okay. It's just it is not technically a save. It's a roll under your wisdom score.
Yeah, wisdom check. Succeeds. Sorry.
Both Basil and Zophan succeed, but Zophan, like, he kind of the last to sit down and pray. He's like, it's kind of like a waste of time. We already gave the abbot more charity than he deserves. Maybe he'll turn his life around or something. He sits down to pray under his breath.
For those of you who rolled under your wisdom, and for Orion and Karn, you are saying a prayer to Saint Key, and you have a vision of a cherub-like apparition, like an infant, in your mind.
Okay.
And you have now received Saint Key's revelation, which is the spell Locate Object.
Oh.
No.
It will last for exactly 24 hours. So after 24 hours, it vanishes.
So we have that ability.
So we have one use of locate object.
Yeah.
And if we don't use it in the next 24 hours,
Poof, it's gone.
it's gone. But if I
Right.
wait to hour 23 and use it, does it last another 24 hours or just
If you
another
use
hour?
it, it lasts however long the spell lasts, and then it's gone.
Okay.
All right, what object are we looking for?
So you can look for an object of a general class like a stairway, an altar, then or a specific. You can't use it to locate creatures. The friar give you the miracle of Saint Key. Saint Key basically was the son of a noble, and even as an infant, he was fascinated with like libraries and scrolls and things. So basically, what happened was some knights showed up to his family's house in the service of a duke and presented some legal documents and said that, basically the Key's family would be lost because these documents were going to take his family. And as an infant, the infant was able, even though he couldn't read or write, he miraculously produced the lost charter, providing his family the rights to their lands. And that is the miracle of Saint Key, the chronicler. The people who patronize him are historians, infants, and lost objects. It is 2 silver pieces per person to stay the night.
I'm paying in gold. They can give me change. I'm working on that silver.
All right.
Same with Basil and Karn. But they're not going to be the same silver pieces with the same value, right?
Right, but still, like, I think to Orion's point is like, hey, this is silver. We don't have a whole lot of silver.
Yeah.
It's worth something.
100 times gold, like it would be in the Ape Empire. It was, it's still 10 times gold or whatever. We're still making out like bandits for what we can get out of it.
Sure, but I want to make sure I'm recording it correctly.
Right. Yeah. So if
Right.
you were to pay 1 gold piece, you would get 8 silver back if that's what you wish to do. If they are Spartan monastic cells on the upper floor. So basically they're private rooms. They're just like a door with like a bedroll, and that's about it. And you, of course, through the night, you will hear the abbot loudly talking as he walks the halls. And if there's anything else you wish to do that evening,
No.
so the friar will say that, we'll make it to Castle Brackenwold tomorrow. And since we're fairly close to the castle, the travel should be fairly safe, which of course means that you will absolutely have a random encounter because that's what will happen.
Yep.
Basil Wilberforce is going to leave his door open and go to bed when Karn goes to bed.
Okay.
And he asked Karn to wake him up in the morning for exercises. I'm feeling especially devout after that trip to the cathedral tonight.
Do we all have separate rooms or are we
Yep. You all have separate rooms.
okay?
How generic can you be for locate object? I mean, can you give it vague, I want something like X and expect to get away with it? Or will it just fail unless you are specific enough?
The spell says that you can just say, tell me where the stairway is, and it will point you into the nearest stairway. And like it could be that generic, or it could be a specific thing or object that you're looking for.
Fine. I'm going to wait until the morning because the morning is when we can actually move around and do things. But just to be amusing and see if it works, I'm going to channel Clintock for a minute or two and ask for any hidden treasure along the route to Castle Brackenwold. And if it fails, it fails. I didn't have it beforehand. If I don't have it now, it's not a big deal. But, it feels stupid if I didn't at least take the chance. And as I said, channel Clintock and his gem finder.
Basil and Zophan aren't going to do anything in particular tonight besides kind of the usual. Zophan would walk around to go for a constitutional.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
Basil would be doing push-ups in his training regiment. You just might hear just a bunch of grunting and heaving coming from his room.
Hunting and eating.
Okay.
Hunting and heaving. Right, okay. Yeah, never mind.
Is Karn doing anything in particular?
And he prays and goes to bed nice and early. And Basil tries to get to sleep at the same time.
Okay.
Like these guys are screwing around and Karn's already asleep.
Is there a pond anywhere nearby?
A pond? Yeah, we'll say there's like a small little, a man-made one.
If I ask around, do people say if it's stocked or not?
No, it is not. It is just, usually some of the monks go in there and bathe.
Felix has no interest in this.
Okay.
It's gonna go night fishing, but does not want to catch a naked monk.
Definitely not the ideal.
It is the 18th day of Simswald, and it is a cloudy, windy day as you get up.
Now Karn's up at 4 a.m.
Okay.
He's got Basil Wilberforce up with him.
Oh, God.
And Basil's trailing along behind him as Karn goes looking for the abbot.
Oh,
The abbot
I know it.
is fast asleep. You can hear him snoring. He's easy to find.
Karn follows the sound of the snores and says, Abbott, Abbott, bang, 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 bang.
Oh, Nicole, what?
St. Keye appeared to me last night in a vision, and I realized that you needed some aid.
Ale? Yeah, I could use one right now.
Aid,
Oh.
not ale. Come, some fresh air before the sun rises. It'll do you some good.
Oh, I know why Basil's doing this now. He's doing it for the amusement value.
Oh, yeah. Fresh air.
Fresh air, the commune with nature and the praising of the one true God.
Let us begin. Sure. Where you be, I will meet you.
Come, now is as good a time as any.
Not gonna hide
I'll
from
wait
you.
here as you gather yourself to go.
Yes, wait.
This is the time you usually wake up, isn't it?
No, absolutely not. I don't know what you mean.
Why, but we must have our prayers in before the sun rises.
I
Do you
don't
not
think-
greet the day every day like this?
I don't think the prayers mean any have better meaning before the sun or after the sun, to be honest. They're all the same. But yes, wait there. I will be with you momentarily, since you were
Says,
kind
"I'll wait
enough.
patiently."
How long you plan on waiting?
Oh, he's not going to give this guy more than a minute or two before he makes sure he's awake. He'll resort to the pail of water trick.
Yeah, 4 minutes. Like 4 minutes pass you, and you hear him snoring again.
Basil, a pail of water. So Karn's goal is to get this guy up and awake and lecture him about the sins of the flesh interrupting the life of prayer that he is supposed to be devoted to. And he is not setting a good example for his subjects. So, like, he'll pick him up and drag him outside if he has to.
How badly is Basil Wilberforce snickering?
No, Basil Wilberforce is staying behind once he drags him outside.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you splash some water on him. I had a dream. I was back in my younger days. The life that
Dude, you are abandoning the your flock for your dreams of your younger days.
What? I'm here. What do you mean? How can I abandon them?
You are not setting a good example.
Why am I soaking wet?
Staggering drunk every night, not up before the morning with the prayers, not leading them into church. You're failing your God and your saint. It's time to repent. Come.
Give me a 2d6 roll, Karn Stone.
4 to
Chanting the
2.
Chronicler.
What is it? Do you have a charisma bonus?
And I have a charisma bonus plus 1.
So total of 7?
Correct.
So he sort of, lack of a better word, sobers up. Says, you come here and wish to challenge my allegiance to the one true God, I see.
Not a challenge, a reminder of your faith, a reminder of your calling. I mean this with the love of Cuthbert.
oh, the love of Cuthbert, you know. You said last night, live by spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yes, basically. Yeah. Cuthbert was by the everything I've ever read on Cuthbert in D&D is that's the kind of saint that he was, you know.
What do you propose?
Come outside and engage with nature. Come and greet the day as the sun rises. Celebrate the one true God. Dedicate yourself, rededicate yourself to the path that you should be on. Not one of up until all hours of the night and regaling your patrons with drunken mumblings about a woman that you pine away for. That is your past. You have to look to the future. You have souls to save. This is your vow.
And let us greet the day, Karn Stone.
That's the spirit. Come. You'll feel much better here soon. The light of faith will cleanse the way that you're feeling. Maybe, you know.
All right, so he walks out with you and you step outside into the windy, cool air of the spring.
Before his door can go closed, Basil Wilberforce stuck a foot inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably left his door open, so he
Yeah.
just let, I mean,
Yeah.
like who's going to steal from the Abbott?
He's going to pilfer through the room and see if he can find anything of small but of value. And, of course, look for anything incriminating that maybe he could use as blackmail.
Okay, give me a d6 roll.
Okay. 3.
Other than a few pieces of copper and some empty tankards, he doesn't really have much of anything.
I thought for sure there would be something juicy like love notes to Nicole or something like that. Or this guy's stashing away some cash to be able to leave this monastery. He's been pilfering from the things. Oh, well, it was worth a try.
Yeah.
He was damn well drinking away the cash is what he's doing.
Yeah, apparently that's what he's doing. Basil isn't going to be bothered with any copper pieces causing problems. That's not enough to warrant anything.
Okay.
So he follows outside and he figures at least if he's awake, he can get some amusement. As Karn's got the Abbott trying to trot him around for morning exercise.
Yeah, the Abbott. Yeah, he looks like he might have a coronary. He's out of breath just walking down the stairs and going outside.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dear Abbott, you stay awake all day. You glory in the beauty of this majestic day. I don't know what kind of day it is because
It's it's cloudy and windy, so
take in those wonderful clouds. Look, that one there looks like the cherub I saw last night. I'm telling you, I was greeted with a vision of your saint.
yeah. Oh, I think I'm going to throw up.
It would probably be good for you if you did. You can rally. Get the poisons and the sins out of yourself.
All right, make save versus breath, Karn Stone.
Oh, God, no. I critically failed with a 20.
No, you got to roll over.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of
Yeah,
Bill.
you saw it coming and missed his projectile vomiting.
Good, good. Get that out of you. You know, he looks around, finds some water wherever he can find some water, and sits next to the guy and pats him on the back, says, "It's just the poison leaving your system. Here, have some fresh water to drink."
He drinks some water. Thank you.
Look at the sun rising behind the clouds. Look at the beautiful sunrise. When was the last time you watched a sunrise as you thank the one true God for the life that you had?
Oh, it's been a minute.
Perhaps you should make a habit of this,
Minus the vomiting.
minus the vomiting. You know how to avoid the vomiting, don't you?
Don't do exercises. That's how you.
Minus the ale.
Oh, minus the ale.
Would have never thought of that. Really?
The exercises every morning and minus the ale. The next thing you know, you're not vomiting. You feel refreshed and first thing in the morning, ready to go running through the woods. You'll be like a young man again.
This he thinks about very hard. Like you can see that caught him. Be a young man again. Really?
Would I
See,
lie to you? I am
you-
not much younger than you. I don't know how old this guy is, but
Yeah, he's in his 60s.
yeah.
And he's like, wow. And he looks at you and like Karn's pretty fit.
Yeah.
And he's been wearing armor and everything. And he's like, wow, I really let shit slide.
I
Like
think
this guy is this guy's younger. It says he's just young, not he's almost my age. Well,
that was the spirit. That's what Karn's thinking.
there definitely needs to be some changes done. I will consider some things, Karn. I appreciate this moment that we have had. The one true God has certainly sent you in my life for a particular reason.
This is Karn's mission in life, right?
Proselytize, preach.
And destroy evil.
The rest of you get up, you know, Clintock's not there, so you get up at a decent hour. You can smell the fresh mutton pies being cooked by the monks as they are going to serve that for breakfast. And the friar gets up and he comes over to you and he says, have you seen Karn? Is he out there with the abbot?
Yes, well, Karn swore he would get the abbot up for his morning exercises and devotions. And knowing Karn, even a dragon would not stop him from doing so. So, yes, Karn and the abbot are somewhere enjoying the morning. Well, Karn's enjoying it. The abbot may not.
The friar eating some of his food, he opens the door to the common, looks outside and sees Karn and the abbot out there chatting. He says, if he gets that ale removed from here, that will not be good for anyone.
Oh, I quite agree. You don't know Karn. He gets something in his head.
I don't think Karn's after removing the ale from there, other than from the abbot.
Right, but that's what the friar is concerned about.
Yeah, Karn preaches the one thing, but I mean, if you choose to do that, he knows he's not supposed to sit in judgment of you. But when it's a man of the cloth, it's a different story.
Where is Basil Wilberforce?
Well, after he watches them puke a little bit and his amusement's over with, he heads back in and I guess he gets breakfast. He's upset that he couldn't steal anything good.
Oh, I can't steal from you. Well, I can watch you be miserable. Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, the abbot comes in. You guys are eating. You know, his robe is all wet, probably because he washed the vomit off of it, and he kind of has a certain smell to him. And he's sweating. He immediately comes in and just plops down in a chair, and it's like looks exhausted, like he's just run a friggin' marathon or something.
First day of training, huh?
What?
So your first day of training?
Oh, we were saying some prayers. Oh, you train with Karn Stone? Is he normally like this?
We have separate but equally strict training regimens.
What is yours?
Let me demonstrate. And he just starts doing push-ups. He'll do push-ups, and then he will like then start doing handstand push-ups. And then he will move to doing handstand push-ups with one arm. And then after, some sets of that, he says, and that's one set.
There's more?
I do about 5 or 6 of those.
And that's kind of how he warms up every day.
You see, like when we encounter danger, there's only one way to deal with danger. With fists first. So I have to make sure that my fists and the guns, big guns, Basil's fists are ready.
Big guns.
Big gun Basil.
Yeah.
You will come to find that it's more rewarding than a night of ale to wake in the morning and have a great
Yeah,
morning.
yes, yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
There's
But
a
that, but I,
euphoria.
well, I saw this Basil here drinking last night, drinking some ale, and he can do these things.
But Basil, how many ales did you have?
Not as many as you did. I think I had maybe 3.
And you were in bed much earlier than he was.
And I did my nighttime training before to work off any sweat out any ill effects.
Moderation, at the least. Moderation is for monks.
Well, he just collapses there and takes some more water in. All right. And you guys will be headed out onto the road to Castle Brackenwold. Let's take a break right there. All right. So, yeah, the abbot is sipping some water, thinking about his life choices, maybe, or just thinking about maybe he's just can't wait for Karn Stone to leave the Wayside Monastery.
Don't forget, I'm going to see if I can't locate hidden treasure on the route to Castle Brackenwold.
Okay, so when you step out of there, it's a windy, cloudy morning, and start heading down the road south to Castle Brackenwold. Are you going to do it right then, or are you going to wait?
No, as soon as we get on the road and start
Okay,
headed that way. If it points me to the pastry girls, I'm going to be amused.
give me a
Or maybe
D6
the
roll.
pastry girl's mom. She's the hidden one.
Yeah, give me a D6 roll.
D6. 2.
Now give me a D20 roll.
Oh, wow. We didn't stop then. Okay. 8.
You rolled an 8.
Rolled an 8. On
Oh,
the
okay,
D20,
okay.
yeah.
I was just confirming that's what you rolled. Okay, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys head down the road.
Getting like the mental picture of direction to go, or is it just like, fuck you, there's no treasure?
No, it doesn't do that. A cherub-like apparition of the infant Saint Key points in the direction of the sought object, adjusting the indicated direction as the caster moves.
Huh. Yeah, and this is a me-only vision, I presume, or can
Yeah.
other people see it?
Yeah, it's only you.
Okay. That's awfully cool. So I actually get a cherub.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, guys, we may be taking a side trip. I asked a locator for something interesting, and I have a pointer. So we definitely may be taking a side trip here just to see what this might be.
I'll follow you on yours if you'll follow me on mine.
Oh, what did you attempt to find, Karn?
Nothing yet. You just inspired me. That's all.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Scares me too. Basil Wilberforce is with us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will, a few minutes later, I'll sort of drift over to him and say, if it helps, I was inspired by Clintock when I asked to find something. I think you'll want to see it.
Oh, yeah. Clintock always does the juicy stuff.
He's always the one looking for the hidden treasures. So that's exactly what I asked for, and I got a pointer.
I'm right on your tail.
Yep, thought you'd be interested.
I mean, what else am I going to be motivated by?
Well, apparently getting massages while we're in the middle of being pursued. Not that I blame you. That's definitely one of the things that if I finally survive and settle down, that's going to be a tavern story for when people are drunker, We're in the middle of a pursuit by people who want to kill us, and you tumble into the massage house and decide, hey, now's a great time.
When luck strikes, you've got to pounce on it.
Yeah, I don't know what struck there, but it worked out for you.
Let's see. My friends are getting chased by apes. I can get a massage.
And it kept you out of their hands. I mean, because nobody sane would imagine that you would do such a thing.
Right. Maybe you guys should have just run into the massage parlor.
I was headed the opposite direction, unfortunately. Just one of those things.
Such is life. But, maybe next time. I'll make sure I'll give you a holler. This way.
Yes, I should remember that indeed. Basil always survives. Learn the direction that you escape towards.
Well, that's easy. You see the dangers that way? You go that way. If the danger's that way, you go that way. Then you got Karn. He sees the danger that way, he goes that way.
Yep.
And you let him.
And he has saved our asses because of that too. But you're right, the safest place is behind him.
I mean, let's be fair, he'd still be rotten if we didn't go help him, but it's only because he always helps us.
Yep. Too true.
Hey, I'm not sure I'd do that again, though. He lets the apes catch him again. I'm not sure I'm going after him. Where's your cherub say to go?
Okay, so the cherub, Orion, seems to be pointing like off the road into the woods. You're about like 20 minutes in, and it's pointing off the road.
Okay, well, I'm going to sort of triangulate, take a, okay, that direction, and then go 100 feet down the road or so and go, okay, no, maybe that direction, and sort of get an idea of how off we are talking. Are we talking 10 miles off the beaten path? Or are we talking, maybe a mile or two?
Maybe probably a mile or two.
Okay. Well, I'll tell everybody, well, best I can tell, it's a mile or two this way. Briar, we will catch up to you, I think, unless you would care to join us on this divinely led, truly divinely led adventure.
The friar is, because you have the goat with you, and he says, I don't think, even though we are so close to Castle Brackenwold, I don't think it is wise to venture off into the Dolmenwood, but I will wait here and watch the goat if you wish, or...
Sure, that makes sense. Wait for a little while and see if anything happens, and otherwise...
I feel very uncomfortable, but I will do this.
Translation, the reason the treasure hasn't been found before is it's fucking dangerous, you moron. This is us, after all.
We scoff at danger.
So you begin to trek through the woods, off the beaten path.
I imagine Karn going first with Orion at his shoulder, pointing him where to go.
Okay.
He's using his armor to stomp everything flat, all the brush flat.
Okay.
Not being quiet at all.
Everybody who is going through the woods, give me a d6 roll. I need to know if you roll a 1 or 2.
6.
4.
Please.
So moving through this woods, you're probably about a mile in. The scenery hasn't changed. There's some grass, patch of trees. It doesn't look like a path that anybody has taken. It looks like you're taking your own path through this woods. It leads through the woods, through a clearing, then into the woods. There are some smaller other trees, but you notice that the trees are dead. And you come up to a much larger tree. If you were a tree, how big of a tree would you be? Something like it stands out because it's as round as like a sequoia tree. It is huge.
Okay.
But it is not as tall. It's probably cut off like 30 feet in the air. Like it is black and charred, like maybe a fire has come through here. And it is got what you would say would be a doorway in front of it.
Door in a birch tree in the woods.
Mr. Wilberforce, I think you're up. Is that door a problem for us?
Is it an opening or is it an actual portal sort of door?
It is a wooden door that has, but it's not shaped like a perfect door. It's got, it looks like somebody has built a door to fit the opening,
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It is not blackened and charred like the tree.
Like the tree is. Ooh. Okay. I take a look at it before I start touching it. I'm looking at things carefully. Obviously, I'm going to start with the trying to look and see how it opens, whether it's a knob or a latch or, something like that. Looking for anything, obviously a sign of a trap, and look all the way around the edges of the door, all the way around from the top to the bottom, all the way around.
Okay, so there is a bit of moss and dirt on it. As you're checking, it kind of comes off and you can see that it is etched. There are some markings on it. You would guess there. It's not like magic writing, some kind of script or something is on there you've never seen before.
Is it anything I can read with my thieves skill?
Oh, okay. While he is doing that, the rest of you hear something running through the woods, like, because it's stepping on twigs and leaves and things of that nature.
Felix draws his blade and prepares for whatever is coming.
Okay.
80% probability. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're fine.
Well, it's a 16. Great roll.
The script is it's kind of like welcome, greetings, travelers, welcome here, kind of like something you put on a doormat, but it's like written on maybe it's some kind of elven script.
Friendly greeting on the door.
The footsteps get about 20, 30 feet from you guys, but it is the woods, so you really can't see. And they stop, noticeably stop. They were running, and then they stopped.
We're friendly as long as you are.
Hail, traveler, do you run from trouble? Perhaps we can come to your aid.
Oh, God.
Felix lowers his blade to make him seem less hostile.
Obviously, we know he's there, so whoever it is, whatever it is.
It's eerily silent.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking that bait. Definitely not stepping out into the woods. I like my nice clearing where you can see what's coming.
You hear some footsteps, probably like 45 degrees from that one. If you're facing the tree, the footsteps would be to your right. This is kind of like between the tree and there. So kind of like if the tree, you're looking at the tree, it's 12 o'clock and the footsteps came at running at 3, this would be like at 1-ish. You hear somebody's walking for certain and they stop.
Same greeting. We're friendly as long as you are.
Prove it. And you can tell it's a child.
Which direction?
Well, the 1 o'clock direction. Prove it.
It's favorite.
Karn walks out. He doesn't have any weapons in his hands. And he says, I come bearing the word and the goodwill of Saint Cuthbert. How much more proof do you need?
Who is that?
You've not heard the wisdom of Cuthbert?
What's wisdom?
Oh, my child. Come, I have much to speak to you about. Be not afraid. Are you weary? Are you hungry? Thirsty? Are you frightened?
Why did you come here?
Oh, my friend said he was following a cherub.
What's
I
it?
don't ask a lot of questions. He's my best friend. That's what he wants me to do.
And peeking out behind one of the charred trees appears to be a child, probably. Let's roll to see how old he is.
Last time we ran out into kids in the woods, they tried to kill us.
He's about 5 years old. He looks dirty and grimy. His clothes look the same. They're in about the same condition.
Child, are you hurt?
He looks up at you. You got all your teeth? And that's when we roll initiative.
Oh,
You have all your
geez.
teeth.
Oh, child. Oh, damn it. Fuck.
Did he say teeth?
Yep.
All right, I got a 6.
Very good.
Guess I'm not familiar with what this creature is as a player.
Right, same.
You will
Remember
be.
when-
You will be.
Okay,
Oh, I rolled a
remember when-
6.
Ooh.
But the tie goes to you
Remember
guys.
when the first time near the ruined chapel, the children in the chapel were collecting teeth. The Gloam or whatever that damn was having them collect teeth.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Karn will remember that.
All right. You guys are up.
And the kids were under a spell. It wasn't that the kids were bad themselves. Is the kid close to Karn?
With it, you could get him in a movement.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to snatch this kid up.
Roll under your dex or strength. You're not trying to like hurt him, right?
I'm trying to grab him and restrain him. So, well, either one of them's 15.
Okay.
And this time it got me 8.
Okay. Yeah. You run up. He just he kind of panics for a second and you grab him and then you realize he was holding what looks to be like a squirrel, but you realize it's mummified and it just drops to the ground. And you see that it's got it has no eye. His eyes are sewed shut. It's got teeth, not its real teeth, like attached to it. I draw my binky.
Yeah, your binky will be safe there. And I'm just holding him with his arms pinned to his sides. He's
Okay.
5. He's not going to be able to fight me too much. And I guess I would turn and start walking towards my friends with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can't get an angle on the thing that stopped moving when we came from the other direction. I will do whatever my free movement is, and without leaving the damn clearing, see if I can't see what the hell is behind the tree there.
You can walk up enough that you can catch somebody.
Is it another kid?
Yeah. He looks to be, let's see, which one is it? He looks to be about the same age as this kid. It's a female. Her hair's all in knots. She doesn't notice you coming around. She's watching what's going on with Karn and the other kid. And she's hiding under some bushes.
Okay. I'll yell out, it's another kid. I'm going to attack a kid. Can I remember what the hell what was it, a Gloam something?
Called a Gloam, yeah.
Yeah.
Gloam. Can I remember exactly what it was immune to something? The real problem with that damn thing was the darkness, because we couldn't see, we were getting attacked, and we couldn't find our way. Oh, right. I'll say, remember the Gloam, we couldn't find our way to safety. Mark your way to the doorway right now, and I will, spend my action, actually heading towards the doorway.
Okay. Yeah, you can get there.
Okay. Well, I'm at the door, so I can't get lost like last time.
I mean, I would have been heading back in that direction towards my friends, but I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fine. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll make it to the door or not.
Do these kids look like they're in trouble? Like, do they look like they're in danger? Like, do
I
we
mean,
know?
you remember from Violet, you know, if this is the same thing, you remember from Violet and those kids, they were under some sort of charm.
Yeah, yeah. But does it look, is there like, can we feel like the entity, or can we feel like the presence of this other?
Right now, no.
All right. Well, then I think what Basil's gonna do is just try to grapple. He's gonna try to take the kids and just like so we could bring them away from here.
Okay, so you're gonna grab the other kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just for your own good. We're gonna take you back to a family that loves you.
Well, it's better than you saying, let's start punching these kids.
They haven't earned it yet.
Yeah, that's right. They'll roll on your dex and strength.
All right. That is a success.
Yeah, she like what you surprise her because she is too focused on whatever this other. She's like 5 years old.
And yeah, so he like catches her and then like starts, dragging her to, bringing her along wherever, towards the door.
And it looks like she drops like this stuffed rat on the ground, like mummified rat. It has no eyes. His eyes are sewn up and it's got these obnoxious fake teeth that it has been glued to it. She's like, no, she's reaching for it. Give that. I need it.
Felix is gonna try and look around for whatever, assuming it's a gloam of some sort, try and see if he can spot any birds.
Very good. Right now, there are no birds. There are no chirping birds or anything in the area. So
He sheathes his normal sword and pulls out his silvered blade and says, "Come out, you beast, prepare to die."
okay.
You're really going to taunt it like that? I think Basil is going to, as the kids get close, pull out some rope and start binding their hands behind them
Okay. Yeah.
and hobbling their leg, just tying their legs to where they can't run too fast and get away from us.
Okay.
Nothing to try to hurt them or anything, but
Right.
yeah, these kids are going to try to hurt us and we don't want to hurt them. So if we got to fight a gloam, the last thing we need to do is have a kid turn in on us while we're trying to fight it.
Zophan's up, right?
Yeah, Zophan's just watching and waiting from the tree.
Okay.
That he climbed up the tree or up a nearby tree and was kind of like perched.
Okay.
He did that before, like when they heard like the rustling. He's just gonna kind of wait and see.
I'll ask the kids what's in the doorway.
You don't need to go in there. That's our home.
How long has it been your home? As he's like grappling this girl.
For a while.
How long is a while?
I don't know. Can I have my rat back?
Rat.
Yeah, the mummified rat that she dropped. So you've got her hands are tied because Basil Wilberforce tied her. So you're having this conversation with the kids. The door swings open and a whooshing noise, like a flock of birds, comes whistling out of this tree.
Here we go.
Let's see. So there's 6 of you, right? It can actually get to all of you. Each roll save versus breath. Yep, we did that before.
God damn it. That frickin' bastard.
Karn gets a 1. Basil gets an 8. They both make it.
We got to roll over and save versus breath.
Ah,
And I failed both of them. Why do I keep messing that up? Even went after the low rolling dice.
Felix effortlessly dodges out of the way of this breath attack.
Nice.
Miss, I'm going to use my hustle point to see if I can't actually make this. Probably not, but yes, this time.
All right. If you failed, you take 3 damage. Except for Karn, who critically failed with a 1, he takes 6. And let's see. Karn, all right. So Karn took damage. Basil W took damage. Who else? Felix passed. Orion passed.
Both Basil and Zophan failed.
Okay. So you take 3 damage. And this flock of ravens swoops, like manages to swirl around and go rushing past you. Felix and Orion are able to just duck out of the way, and it swoops all the way, goes all the way to the top and perches itself up on top of its little house there of the tree.
How far up is that?
30 feet.
Oh.
And it is, let's see. The kids are restrained, so they can't do anything. So you hear some more footsteps, and coming out of the woods, one of these kids is holding what looks like a sharp stick, and he comes charging at Karn and tries to impale you with a 2. So yeah, he's like, take this. 5. And another one comes running after, Zophan sees you up in the tree. He looks a lot older than these other kids. And he throws a rock at you. And then he's like, oh, what are these lights? Okay. So what's your armor class?
It is a 17.
Okay. He misses. He seems to be affected by your pants.
Yeah. I'd imagine that like he like actually gets it pretty close, but Zophan he dips down and like kind of jumps, like not jumps down, but he like kind of swings down and like kind of like there's this flourishing of these beautiful.
Are you shaking your butt at a kid now?
He's not shaking his butt, but he's definitely like dodging in style. So yeah, he's got a little bit of pizzazz, like some razzle dazzle.
I think we have found the mechanic for those pants.
Yeah.
We'll just say on their first attack, they take a -2 from the pants. So if a new person attacks you, remind me, they will take a -2. Then they adjust themselves, they adjust to the lights, and then they're okay. I think that's fair enough, right?
Yeah, that works.
Saved by pants.
Saved by pants. Yes, saved by pants.
Okay, it is the next round. You're fighting a Gloam because there was a 5% chance, and that's what you get. All right, I rolled a 1, so you guys are up.
Yeah,
So-
we still have to decide who rolls. Is there
right,
anybody with
correct.
a
Because
Dex minus who we can,
Yep.
get rid of?
I think everyone else probably has a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a +1 for both mine.
I'll claim it was my roll then. Alrighty. Damn it. What the fuck can I do against these bastards? In my favorite spell, which is the ground, the bind to ground. He's not on the ground. Oh, wait a minute. There is indeed my favorite attack. It's time for the oil. It's always time for the oil. Light up an oil flask and 18. Hot.
yeah, that's definitely a hit.
All right, and it's 1d8 fire. 3.
Boom.
Good
Yeah,
hit,
you hit it.
bad roll. Good hit, bad roll. Oh well.
Felix is just gonna keep standing there out in the open, taunting him,
Okay.
and he will attempt to, if the bird does fly by him, or the flock of birds fly by them, he's gonna try and take a swing, but he's not gonna do anything else.
So you're basically holding your action.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. That works. Okay.
It's a flock of birds or one bird.
It's a flock.
It's an entire flock.
Yep. But some of them were burned. So a couple of the birds are burning and one or two fall to the ground.
Do we have an estimation of how many in the flock?
You would
I-
say about
Maybe not an exact number, but like a dozen, 2 dozen, 4 dozen.
probably 2 dozen.
Big flock of birds.
Big flock.
Do I have anything that'll help me with a big flock of birds? I mean, Basil Wilberforce can try to shoot one with his bow.
Yeah.
Does a 14 hit?
It looks like it's dead on. And then at the last moment, the flock just kind of adjusts and it impales into that tree that looks burned. It's just,
Probably not getting that arrow back.
well, you got climb share surfaces, climb up there and
Oh
get it.
yeah, yeah. Karn's going to grab up the kid that tried to impale him and bind him up with the rest of the kittens.
Okay. So yeah, for you can grab, so roll under strength or dex to grab him.
Piece of cake, 10.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's much of a fighter and
Yeah.
drops the stick. He's all dirt and grime. To bind him up would probably take somebody else to do it, but you've got hold of him. He's not going anywhere.
Which kid is that one that you got?
The one that tried to impale me with the stick that just came running up to us this round. There were 2 that came running up.
Yeah, okay.
The one attacked Karn, and I think one attacked you, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I attacked the one that attacked Karn. Karn grabbed it, and Karn's manacles are with Jeremiah. So, oops.
Zophan is going to, I think he's going to swing down from the trees and attempt to like kick this kid and try to incapacitate him.
Okay, so you're doing subdual damage.
Yeah, so like just like an unarmed unarmed, but like a drop kick.
Okay, yeah, give me an attack roll.
Yeah, okay. So I don't get any bonuses to this.
Just doubled in.
Did you hit him?
No, it's 11.
That's
Or-
a hit. He has no armor.
Well, yeah. So so that's a hit. This is a D4 is unarmed.
Yeah, I think it's a D4.
Yeah, so that's 6 damage.
Okay, yeah. Even if I rolled a D6 for his hit point, yeah, you just he misses with the rock. He's blinded by the pants.
Goodbye the light.
Yeah, you can tell me how you knock his ass out.
Yeah, so like he threw a rock at Zophan, and Zophan kind of like swung down. And so what he does is he repositions himself and like similar to like a gymnast on whatever the bars are called, but
Are they the uneven bars or the
yeah, like the ones that they kind of do the tricks that go back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Uneven
Okay.
bars. So yeah, he goes like that and he puts himself up and kind of like kind of does a full circle around to get momentum and then just jettisons off and is able to hit this kid. And the concussive force just kind of knocks him backwards. And all you see, like what most people see unless they were watching, is just this kind of flash of gold and rainbows just kind of glitter past their eyes. And yeah, this kid is knocked out.
yeah, you nail his ass and just collapses to the ground. You can see he's much older. He would be a teenager.
Okay. He's gonna tie him up.
Okay, yeah, you could definitely do that next turn. Okay, so taking care of the kids. Felix is holding his action. Who's left?
Basil's Basil's just gonna continue to kind of keep a lockdown on this kid.
Is that everybody?
Think so.
So I forgot to roll. So I need Karn, Basil Wilberforce, Zophan, Basil Bessick, save versus death. I forgot to do that.
Versus death. I want to roll over.
Yes,
I need the good rolling die.
yes.
Karn's is 8.
They both fail.
Basil's is 12. Karn first. Karn makes it with a 15. Basil makes it with a 13, barely.
Okay, it is up. So the kids are like, as soon as you flatten that other one, they heard this noise and see this flash, and that kid goes down, and they all scream out, "Bloodworth, save us, save us!" And the flock takes off. Go ahead, Felix. It will come after you, so you can swing.
Does a 17 hit?
You are fairly confident that that is a hit, but somehow these friggin' birds avoid that strike.
Yeah, magic.
All right, it goes after Felix. It will go after Orion, who hit it. So roll save versus breath.
Damn it.
It will go after Zophan.
Not a save.
Okay, if you failed, it's 3 damage.
Save versus breath. Zophan succeeds.
Okay,
For the save versus death, what was the damage for that?
none right at this moment.
Okay.
Felix, give me a save versus breath. As you kind of were attacking it was attacking you.
Save. Barely.
You made it? Okay. So it went after Orion, Felix, Zophan. Oh, it's got to go after Karn. Yeah. Karn, give me a save.
Versus breath.
Yep.
For that, I got a 4.
You take 3 damage. And save versus death.
I barely made it. I got an 8, and I needed an 8 for the save versus death.
Okay.
That was close.
So 1 to 3, it's Basil Wilberforce. Okay, Basil Wilberforce, you're getting attacked. It doesn't seem to be able to attack everybody this time.
So I made my save versus death.
Okay, good. Basil Wilberforce, go ahead and roll save versus breath.
Save versus breath. Oh, right on the money. 14.
Okay.
That's 2 in a row. Right on the money.
Take no damage. All right. Yeah, it swoops around, and for those of you who are hit, you can feel those beaks and claws just stabbing into you. Very familiar feeling that you've had before. This is not fun. It swoops around and goes whoosh, right into the door that is open into the tree and vanishes.
All right.
And the kids all scream, and I rolled a 2 for the next round.
I roll for Basil. It's a +1, 4 +1, 5.
Okay, Basil W. You're up first. This is the situation.
They've gone into there, and the kids are screaming.
Yeah, well, the one that isn't unconscious. He screamed
Okay.
for a second, and then he didn't scream anymore.
So he'll grab the kid from Karn and tie him up.
Okay. He is tied up.
He's not running into that door first. That's for sure.
It's Basil W. we're talking about.
Felix is going to lead the charge inside the door.
Okay.
Karn's right behind him. The only reason he didn't go in first because he was busy handing off the kid.
Yeah. Orion will draw his silvered spear, thank you very much, and charge in behind Felix.
Okay. So Felix headlong running into the open doorway of the tree. Give me a dex. Yeah. Give me a dex roll. Roll into your dex.
I believe I rolled under. I did. Nice. 12 under 13.
Just in the nick of time. You run in there. You take about, I don't know, 3 or 4 steps and stop. There's just enough light coming in here. You like, oh shit. There's a huge pit in front of you. And you can see a rope ladder going down and it's pitch black.
And is there anything beyond the pit, or is it just like go down and like there's just like a wall on the other side?
If there is, it's just darkness. It just looks
Okay.
kind of now you see like the rope. There is like a rope attached to the floor with some pitons and that goes down.
I'm gonna break out my lantern, and that's probably my action. And I
Okay.
went out. There's a pit.
All right.
Stupidly, I left my torches with Jeremiah, so good thing you got a lantern.
Okay. Well, Orion's right behind you. He'll go, shine that sucker down that way. And I will be stupid and head down the rope.
Okay. Give me a dex roll.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That's one of my better ones. Okay. 9, which is under 15.
Okay. So the rope you can tell is not that, you get on, it starts moving, and it's patchwork. So it's a patch rope ladder, it's not very stable, but you are beginning to climb down.
Okay. I will just call up and say, this damn rope is shit.
All right. Who's next?
When Karn hears that, he yells out to Basil to bring rope.
Meanwhile, Zophan is tying up.
Tying him up, you realize he's got some dirty friggin' clothes on but he's got, I guess it would be like tattoos. They look like tattoos of like bird feathers on him.
Okay. Like any specific place on him?
You could see him a lot up through the dirt on his arms. They're all over his arms and like on his neck.
Oh, yuck. Is that how these things reproduce?
All right. He thinks that that's going to be weird, but he's going to bring him along anyway. Under the guise that, maybe he can be saved.
Okay. All right. So we got Orion going down the ladder. Felix is at the top. Right?
Yep. Yeah, I have a light.
Yep. Yeah. So you got some light down here. No, Zophan has tied up the kid. Basil Bessex.
Basil is bringing the kid along. And imagine that kid's going to be like kicking and screaming, fighting as he's trying to go down this rope.
Well, he's tied up. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, like the one that Basil was grappling.
Right.
So
I thought he got his hands tied.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's what was said. Everybody's they're all tied up.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
yeah, you grabbed you grabbed the girl and she dropped the rat, didn't she? Yeah, so she's kind of squirming. If you want to make a check, if you want to make a 2d6 check to calm her down, you can try to do that because it's going to be difficult to climb down with her flopping around.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give that a go. That is a 6.
She is really not interested in what sort of training regiment she is going to get from you at a later date. It's really not something that she wants to hear right now.
Trust me. It's just a 30-step plan. The first 10 steps are the hardest.
I can't even count that high. If I could reach my fingers, I would show you.
Wow.
Are you going to try? I mean, you can walk over to the rope. Are you going to try to climb down?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
With a squirming kid.
There's a reason why Karn called for Basil for rope because Orion's already said that this ladder is for shit. And he's like, I don't want to get on a shit ladder with my heavy armor on.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Yeah, you're right. I think he would just wait there.
Like as soon as Basil's got 50 feet of rope, he's going to tie off and sort of back up the rope ladder with it.
Okay, so you've got the kid. Basil is in. Okay. So we know Basil Bessex has got the one kid. Zophan has tied up the other one.
No, I thought we had most of the bastards tied up.
You all did. I'm just trying to account for where they are.
Ah, okay.
Right. The first one that Karn ran into and grabbed and tied up. What did you do with that kid?
I thought we were tying them sort of like a daisy chain of kids.
I mean, you can if you want to. I'm
That's
fine
what
with that.
Basil Wilberforce was trying to do.
Okay.
He was tying their hands behind their back and then tying legs together so they couldn't run too fast, and then sort of like making a daisy chain out of it. Like, here's all the kids in a row. And if they try running away, they're going to get about 10 feet a minute.
Okay. I will say, like, if Basil Wilberforce does for this turn and the next turn, next 2 rounds does that, you'll have them tied up. They can't go anywhere, but I'll just, because that's not just one, you got to get them all together.
Okay. Only he has to shout at Karn. He can't get the rope there yet.
I got to tie these damn kids up.
Yeah.
So you're going to handle, okay. All right. So I believe that's everybody. The kids are squirming, calling for somebody named Bloodworth. We go to the next round.
Does anybody else have rope?
I rolled a 4.
Hold on. Yeah, you want a rope? Wait a minute. I'm halfway down. No way I can help you with the rope thing. I'm halfway down, foolishly chasing the goddamn Gloam.
The only other guy was rope.
Zophan has rope, but he just also used it part of that rope to tie the unconscious kid. So he could untie the unconscious kid.
Let Basil tie him up.
So yeah, you can use that rope.
Yeah, let Basil tie the kid up and take that rope inside. Karn's worried that if he gets on that rope after Orion shouted that and he gets on there, that like, what if the bridge breaks or the rope breaks and he comes toppling on top of his friend?
I rolled a 4 for my initiative. Okay.
I got a +1, 5.
You're up first. So Basil Wilberforce will complete tying up the rest of the kids. Are you going to was that Zophan or Basil?
That was Zophan that just rolled.
Gotcha. Okay, good. So are you just going to tie them up outside? I mean, for them to get away, it's going to be very, very difficult. Besides one of them is knocked out, so that's dead weight right there.
Yeah, we'll just tie him. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Take care of him outside.
Okay.
And let's see, Zophan's going to. Did Basil set up the rope yet?
Not yet.
Basil Wilberforce is busy tying up the kids, so he's relying on Zophan to take the rope and get set up.
All right, so then he'll set up the rope.
Don't you have a bonus to that as an acrobat anyway?
Tying ropes, going across ropes.
Walking. Okay, sorry. I forgot.
So yeah, we'll find a place to try to tie off the rope so we can descend it.
All right, you're tying off a rope. All right.
And Basil will help Basil W tie up the kids and get them situated.
Okay, very good.
So that can get done quicker. And so we can hopefully just start lowering these kids down the hole.
Okay.
Why would we even want them down there with us? I'm not up there.
We got to take them with us, right?
Yeah, but
That's why they're
let's kill
hobbling.
the damn Gloam first.
That is kind of why Basil W was hobbling them. Just like you do a horse, you make sure it can't take too big of steps.
All right, so Ryan, you're moving the rest of the way down then?
Yeah, if that's what it takes.
Yeah, you made your, I gave you a dex check. You made it. You climbed down the rest of the way. You would approximate it's about 60 feet to the bottom.
Okay.
There is a small fire pit in like the middle of this, for lack of a better word, room. It is very, very dark down here. Felix has his lantern, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of light coming down here. You realize there's like 7 different little passages that are down here. And in this room, in this sort of room, there is what looks like a really nice wooden desk like you would find at a noble's house. It's down here with a makeshift stool that somebody would sit on. But the desk looks in pretty good shape. It doesn't match the decor.
Okay. That's weird, but you know.
You'll also see what looks like a treasure chest, or just, shouldn't say treasure chest, a chest, a wooden chest that looks warped. And there is also a pail, like a metal pail that has a handle on it. That's what you catch as you first come down here.
Okay. Yeah. Bizarre, but you know what?
All right. So, Felix, are you going to make your way down?
Yeah, now that everybody else is headed down.
All right. Give me a dex roll.
Success.
Okay. You are making your way down. It's going to take more than one round to get down there. You realize, taking your time.
All right.
Going down the ladder. It is not something you would want to traverse, but obviously these kids don't have any problem because, they don't have armor on.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what we will do right now is we'll jump out of initiative because it may take a moment or two. So I would assume that the rest of you would make your way down to the bottom.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be chasing after this thing. Not
What?
with 5 different. Really? Not with 5 different freaking ways it could go. It get ambushed or dropped into a trap. Hell no. Wait for everybody else to congregate unless
Okay.
unless I'm attacked in the meantime, in which case, again, silvered spear, hopefully that will do it. Otherwise I will have to light it up.
Okay. So Felix. All right. So your light source right now, we will say a turn will have gone by Felix's lantern. So that's basically 10 minutes will go by. You can tie up the kids, do whatever you want with them. If you are making you can set up another rope. Felix can make his way down. If you set up another rope, you make a dex check, but you will get a bonus. Felix, you don't need to do that. You're at the bottom. You've got the lantern now. You're fully looking into this room. You see that, like I said, there's that desk. There are 7 passages in this room. There's a desk. There's like a makeshift stool, like that's broken pieces of wood, that somebody would sit on. A chest that's warped. It's got some metal banding on it and a metal pail. And there's a small fire pit that probably has had a fire in here at some point. All right. So Felix is down there. What, Basil, Bessex, and Zophan, you guys going to make your way down?
Yeah. once
Okay.
the book's secured.
Give me a dex roll as you're climbing down. I always hate doing this to Dustin.
Zophan's just fine. Basil makes it.
Okay. You do get a bonus because you've taken the time to set up the rope. But it's still kind of sketchy coming down here. All right. So the 4 of you are down here. That leaves Karn and Basil Wilberforce.
Well, they're heading down.
Okay.
Karn gonna need a dex check, I imagine.
Yep.
There it is. 4. I think I'm good.
Oh yeah. Karn looks pretty nimble coming down this rope.
There you go.
He does have a dex of 15. His dex is better than Basil Wilberforce's at 14. You want him to do a dex check or a clear climb sheer?
Well, that's up to you. If you take the rope, you got to do climb sheer, but I mean, you got to make a roll, but you can just climb sheer surfaces if you want. Probably be easier for him.
Actually, it might be a better chance for him to do climb sheer. He looks at everybody going down the rope and begins showing off. Oh yeah, I mean, he got a 7.
All right, so you're all down. I've described what this room looks like. So you're all down here.
Yeah, Basil is kind of like showing off, ignoring the rope and climbing down the wall.
Nice.
You got the skills, might as well show them.
All right, you realize you're at like the base, obviously, of this tree. It goes up 60 feet. It is dirt floor. You've got a desk in here that really looks nice. It's made of some kind of maple or, a really nice wood.
Has anybody looked in the desk yet?
Nope.
Guys, isn't anybody going to look in here? Let's see what's in this desk.
I'm waiting for you and, checking to make sure that it doesn't have anything nasty in it.
Oh, well, yeah, I can do that. I began looking it over real careful, running my fingers around after a minute and, just doing all the check for traps kind of things that you do.
Okay. It is not trapped.
And then I just began opening drawers.
Okay. You open like the first drawer and there's like ink, quill, and a pen, and ink and quill, and some parchment.
Well, I'll stuff those in my.
Okay.
That's got a value to it.
All right.
It'll go well with my signet ring blotter and letter opener.
Okay.
Zophan will also kind of poke around the desk, like kind of prodding it, see if there's any secret drawers.
No, there don't seem to be any secret drawers.
Okay. Kind of looks around. So it looks like there are 7 ways, 7 passages.
Just the one drawer in the desk?
No, there's 3 others.
Oh, I'm gonna open
Yeah.
it.
I was going to say, there's a chest too, guys.
That's why I went looking at the desk first. I'm hoping there's a key.
Right. I mean, if you're going to open the first drawer you open, there is a book, a tome in there. It looks dirty. It looks like it's been sitting in, underneath a tree. It's got dirt and grime on it.
What's it say on the cover?
Give me a D100.
D100. 62.
It is written in common. The title of it is called The God Fell.
The god fell. How about the next story?
There's a bunch of containers of glue, like a little glass, whatever the word is, container.
A glass bottle of glue?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. There's a bunch of them. Some of them are open, some are hard. Some, there's got to be like 15 of them in here.
Okay. In the last drawer?
There is an ivory carving.
An ivory carving.
Yes. That looks like an ivory carving of a finger. It looks very lifelike.
Really?
Realistic carving, I should say.
Realistic. He puts it between his knuckles and his fists and goes, "Look, Karn, a finger."
Yeah. Could be cursed. Be careful about that. Besides, but didn't they teach you pillage then loot? We need, or what is it? Battle then loot. We need to find the Gloam. Or I guess we could loot the place, take all his kids, and just get out of here. That's just sort of counterintuitive to us.
We take all his stuff and we leave. He's bound to chase us. It's called bait.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
So I'll go to the chest and check and see if it's got any traps, if it's locked.
No, it's not locked. It's like barely holding together. Looks like, the wood is warped.
Go, hey, Karn, poke this with your sword. Prods it with the sword.
Yeah, though it easily like snaps and some copper pieces come falling out.
So much for treasure. Is there
I mean,
anything
you
else?
break it and a couple pieces out. I mean, you haven't
okay.
opened it,
Okay. Karn will flip the lid open.
There are assortment of coins in here, right at the top. I mean, they look dirty and, it looks like gold, copper, and silver pieces in this chest.
Basil starts flipping coins out using his dagger. He's like scooping coins out or whatever, pushing them out on the floor. So he's not like digging his hands down into coins in case there's anything inside.
All right. Okay. That makes sense.
Tries to empty it out.
Okay.
He's like, anybody else got a bag? I didn't think so.
So you hit something like as you're flipping the coins out, you're like, your dagger hits something solid, like metal almost,
Okay.
like buried in here.
He goes ahead and he picks up is it the chest too heavy for him to pick up, or can he just like dump the chest out on the floor?
Yeah, you could try to do that. You go to dump it, the chest like smashes, falls apart. The bands keep some of the wood together and revealing a sword that is kind of laying amongst the coins, and you can see it glowing with like heat, like it's hot.
Nice.
Ooh, a sword. A glowing sword. Does anybody want a glowing sword?
I think we want to stow it and like I said, we either battle the Gloam or we GTFO and let it try to follow us.
Felix instantly says to Basil, "Well, Karn's already got a magic sword, so."
Yeah, Karn's sword isn't magic. It ignores all magic effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why he was like saying that.
If you try to pick up the sword, the blade is really wide. It's really unwieldy. You have to hold it with two hands. It's something you'd have to become accustomed to. It's definitely a two-handed weapon.
Intriguing.
Which
I'll
is-
take it.
Yeah, Basil's definitely not going to use a two-handed sword. But Basil Wilberforce will definitely, he's like, anybody else got a sack? I didn't think so. And he pulls out the large empty sack he always carries for such a purpose on the sheet and starts filling it full of coins.
Okay. 20 gold, 33 copper, 66 silver pieces.
I wrote that down and we'll all divvy that up here in a bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Remember, we were going to, if possible, keep the silver for later purposes.
Yeah, like I said, we'll just divvy it up. But he figures he'll put it in a large sack now, and because he's always the one running anyway, you might want him to carry it.
Yeah. Well, don't mind him having it as long as we know he has it. Because
All
he's
right.
a coward.
He's
Not
actually
exactly a coward, a pragmatist at heart. He knows better than to keep things from his companions.
Yeah, no, Basil Wilberforce, exactly. He's intelligent, so he's like, he knows not to shit where he eats. Don't piss off the
Right.
people that he relies on all the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
with you guys, he'll be fairly honest insofar, like he'll lie to you, but he won't like cheat you out of money or, he'll try to get John Tor drunk and take advantage of him, but like he wouldn't like pick his pocket.
Yeah, all in good fun.
Yeah,
Gondor really likes the last time you tried to get him drunk.
I bet he
He
did.
was like, "Yeah, really?
Yep, he made us both a lot of money.
Overpaying the waitress to give him a good time.
So what's the plan?
Like, do we want to go Gloam hunting or do we want the Gloam to come hunting us? And Karn says, has your cherub pointed out what you're looking for yet?
Oh yeah, it would be pointing to the sword.
Okay. It's the
And can
sword.
you ask your cherub to point us at more than one thing?
No, no.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that's a possibility, but good try. Yeah, amazingly pragmatic for the paladin.
He was thinking you could ask it to point us at the Gloam.
No, can't locate creatures.
Okay.
I would say uncovering all the treasure, another turn has gone by. The only thing you haven't checked is, well, there's the fire pit and the metal pail.
There's a fire pit and a metal pail. I guess that's Basil's job. He'll look in the metal pail.
It is full of teeth.
Of course.
He looks in the fire pit.
Some wood and stuff been burned. I mean, that's about it.
He looks at the rest of the group and goes, so, like, do we want to get out of here? Or if we're really trying to get this Gloam to chase us, I think I know how to make that happen.
Say more.
I bet it would try to stop us from taking a hammer to these teeth in this bucket. Or if we carry the bucket with us, it'll come after it.
I say destroy the teeth.
Yes, we have nothing to gain by just carrying the teeth. If we can just destroy them here.
Karn looks around and is assessing the room. How does he feel about our chances of fighting with this Gloam, this flock of birds in here compared to outside? Like the tactician in them. How high are the ceilings? How many places are there for it to get away from them?
Well, it goes 60 feet up because
Yeah.
that's that's to the platform, and beyond it goes up beyond that. And then there are 7 dark passages down here.
Can we do anything like using blankets, bedrolls, making nets somehow to block these entrances? And if the birds come flying, we can trap them. How can we contain these birds?
And good question.
Well, they have razor sharp wings, so I don't much could contain them.
And he looks at you, Felix, and he says, what do you think? Fight them in here or fight them in the woods?
Well, the one thing that this beast could do, if he wanted, is he could cut the ropes that we've so delicately hung, trapping us in here if we tried to fight him here.
Okay, so
Good
we
point.
get
Make a note of
outside
that.
and fight them there.
Make a note of that. Okay, cut ropes.
Yeah, that was what was going through my head. You're giving him ideas.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite tricks as a DM is if you express an interest in something that wasn't a plot hook before, it just became a plot hook.
For sure.
You say cut the ropes, he's going to try to cut our ropes. Very well, then. We take this sword, we take these coins, we'll make sure to tie it a little bit back at St. Key's. Last one up the ropes brings the bucket of teeth. We'll get outside the tree and start smashing them.
Sounds like a plan.
Who's the fastest off the rope? The acrobat?
Yeah, he could probably go up that pretty quick.
Or the thief that doesn't need a rope.
There's that. But
Yeah.
how well is he going to climb with a sack full of gold and a bucket full of teeth?
Yeah,
Don't acrobats have like rope trick or something like that?
they do not have rope tricks. They
Tight rope walking or something?
have tightrope walking, but they have climb sheer surfaces, which I don't know, maybe this could count as that, arguably.
I mean, Basil's willing to take the bucket of teeth up. Somebody else will have to carry the bag of gold or something.
I can carry something.
Yeah, he'll give you the large sack full of coins. I mean, it's really not that many coins.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
I was just thinking it's the Gloam's coins. Was the only reason I was thinking of keeping it separate right now.
Oh, you're thinking it may have some sort of magical significance or whatever.
Or like a dragon, it's protecting it or whatever, just in case. I don't know. We take its coins, we take its teeth, we take its sword.
Yeah, there's something in here that it won't.
Well, we know the kids always go after the teeth too.
Well, I mean, honestly, if we get away with everything and leave the Gloam behind, I'm not unhappy. You know, walking away with a few scratches of treasure is a definite plus in my book.
Yeah, the Gloam and the kids. If we walk away for Gloam, but we save the kids as well. So
But can we break the spell on the kids without the Gloam being dead?
Who knows? I say we stop talking and start doing.
Yeah.
Right, friend Felix. If we're all outside, Karn finds 2 stones, grabs a couple of teeth, and smashes them between the stones.
Okay, so we'll say a turn has passed as you guys decide what to do. You're grabbing all the shit. If you take your time, if you carefully move up the ladder, you will not have to make a roll. If you take your time, and I will not make you roll.
Yep.
What is the marching order as you leave?
Zophan would go first because he imagined he could shimmy up it sooner, tie it off the anchor. He can make sure that it's still.
Okay.
Karn will be second to last, and Basil Wilberforce will be last right behind him.
Okay.
Felix will go up
Um,
ahead of Karn then.
Yep. I'll go up whenever. Sounds like.
Okay. Who's last?
Basil Wilberforce. He's bringing the bucket of teeth, but Karn is right in front of him. Actually, you know what? Karn will be dead last, and Basil will be right above him. Karn's right on his heels coming up the rope.
So, Karn, as you're getting ready to climb up the rope, as you are making your way, you feel a presence in the room.
Okay.
And as you turn, you see what appears to be some sort of bird-like creature standing in one of the dark passageways, wearing a big top hat and glowing red eyes. And you just hear him say, "This isn't over yet." And he steps back into the darkness.
Guys, I know where he's at.
Well, if Karn charges, I mean, is Karn going to charge is the question.
Well, I mean, if it's stepping into the darkness, how far away is the light that I can actually see by? Karn's not an idiot. If he goes into the dark, he's not going to be able to see the fight.
I'm assuming you've got some sort of other light source. Somebody is holding a light, enough that you can see his image
Yeah.
in the passageway, which would be, kind of to your south as he is standing there. And he just kind of steps back and just kind of vanishes.
I'll run as far back as I have light to see and see if I can make out any more of him. Meanwhile, I'm shouting out, "By Cuthbert, get back here and face me like a bird!"
You like a bird. Oh.
He thinks he's being clever.
So if you as you're about to climb, you stop, you run over to where he was. Do you have a light source?
I do not. I'm just going as far as I can.
Yeah, you don't see anything. It's just pitch black.
Yeah.
You can faintly hear footsteps down the passage.
Light! I need light!
Felix yells down at Basil, who is just below him, and says, "Move!"
He just, does the fireman drop down the ladder,
Felix goes down with the lantern.
Okay.
It went down this hallway.
Head that way.
And for a penny and for a pound.
Okay, you have the lantern.
Yeah.
You're headed down this passageway.
Yes.
You look ahead of you as you're walking and you're like, that looks weird. And on either side of the passage are some pieces of wood. Looks like a long rectangle that goes, it's got to go at least 10 feet. And in the middle, when people pour cement, they put the forms in. Okay, so picture that. But it is not cement. It looks like the same type of liquid that you found in the drawer. And you can see there are different bugs and things stuck to it.
Oh.
It's a trap. That's no bueno.
Unless it's impossible, I'm going to be following them down. Better we finish this damn thing off here than have it dogging our steps.
I don't know if we're going to have that option. How do we get past? You said it's about 10-foot rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Karn can jump 10 feet.
Has he tried?
I don't think he's tried.
Okay, blue trap on the floor. I missed that. Okay.
There was a desk
little
back in the other
trap
room.
on it.
Just break the desk.
Let's do it.
All right.
Break the desk into pieces. Hack the Hemadiah sword and your sword.
Yeah, just try and break the top off the desk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Set it in the glue trap. Step on it. Get across. We come down. There'll be another 7 forks.
I'm going to say a turn goes by because this thing is well made, as I have described, and it takes a little bit, and, you hack the shit out of it. Is everybody else coming back down as a party now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zophan would have gotten to the top. They're like,
What the hell?
I thought we had a plan.
we'd go back down.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you destroy this nice desk and take the top and slap it down onto the glue trap and make your way down the hall down this passage, which is basically just dirt. You know, sometimes it's low enough you got to kind of duck. Some of the dirt falls on you, and you get to what appears to be a dead end.
Felix says, I was really saving this to find a big fishing hole, but all right. Where's the nearest secret door?
I was gonna say you can't target the globe.
I didn't even take it.
That's a bastard of an idea.
So a couple steps, probably 10 feet back up against this dirt and stuff, you kind of push a little bit and it moves, like the rock just kind of moves. Well done.
Maybe we can get this thing trapped into a small space anyway.
All right. So that opens. You continue on.
Yep.
Okay. So you walk down and kind of take a couple steps and it's not really, it like drops like 10 feet. So you kind of hop down and you realize that it goes one way, really small. You know, you got to get on your hands and knees, and then goes back up the other way. It looks like the passage gets bigger, if I've described that.
Yeah.
It's a maze, and this thing knows the way around the maze.
And can maybe even come out behind us.
Should have used it to find the nearest top hat.
That's such a cool idea.
But we wouldn't have found the door that way.
All
I
right.
mean, the cherub would have pointed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Might have to do that.
That's so cool.
Pick a direction.
I certainly don't want to fight on my hands and knees,
The larger direction.
so we'll have to go that way. Just cut us to shreds.
All right.
Meanwhile, Basil's carrying the bucket, but Karn starts taking out teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and one at a time, and he's crushing them in his palms, in between his plate mail.
I thought you were going to throw it out like you're feeding chickens. Like,
No, he's trying to piss off the Gloam, and he's
Okay.
like, "There's another tooth to powder. Here's another tooth to powder. Won't be long before there's no teeth left." I guess he's trying to hope to taunt the thing because it likes teeth for whatever reason.
okay. So you headed down this path there. Everybody following went through the secret door, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
All right.
Wait
Cautiously
a minute.
moving. What?
I say, wait a minute. I wonder what's happening with the kids back up top. This thing could easily bounce out and free them, and we would be, well, admittedly, we'd be left with a nice treasure, but it would still be,
No
it would
kids.
still be around.
Well, the kids were kind of the bonus, I guess. We can always come back.
Oh yeah, Karn's gonna be real up about.
Yeah, I mean, freeing the children probably takes the priority, right, for Karn? Damn it, friend. Leave it to you to snap me back to reality. Saving the children must come first.
Well, I can go shimmy back up the rope and again, and he just kind of like
Tired of climbing up and down this rope yet?
yeah, and keep a watch.
Scream if it attacks you.
Well, I'll hold my own. I've got my pants.
Love it.
And that right there is a good place to stop.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much longer this is going to go. And that maybe give me more than making this up. Give me some time to actually get some of this written down.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a random encounter on D20 because you're going to cast that spell, locate object, figure you got to find a treasure, and I was like, oh great, a Gloam. Okay, well,
When you asked me, was that really an 8? That was the Gloam.
yeah, I was making sure I didn't hear something different, but I was like, okay, well, I'll do it a little different.
Well, apparently we've just run into an inordinate amount of Gloams here.
Karn is wanting, when he gets the chance to use his locate object, the thing
Okay.
he was inspired to do was to try to find an object that when he comes back this way, he could stop by and give to the abbot that would keep the abbot inspired to follow his faith.
Wow. All right.
Okay, all right, inspire the abbot.
Something to inspire the abbot. Interesting concept.
Yeah, I thought for sure. I was like, okay, well, there's the treasure. They found the thing they were looking for. Are they going to follow, try to get the Gloam? Let's see. Nope, looks like they're headed out. Okay, they're going to go out. Let's see. Maybe he'll taunt the last person going out. Who's the last person? Oh, yeah, it was Karn. It was Karn. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, yeah, give him a little taunt.
Like if I'd gone ahead and let it be Basil,
He would have said, I don't care.
Basil would have said a word to
Yeah, Basil.
away.
Oh, well, that was got away with it. Ain't that great?
And for Zophan, does that work? Like the first attack that somebody does, they'll get a -2 for the pants.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, okay. I figured that might make sense.
Yeah, little razzle dazzle.
Yep. Okay.
So you're flashing, you're shaking your butt at everybody who makes an advance on you.
Well, it doesn't always have to be the butt, but yeah, he's
Okay.
certainly strutting his stuff.
He does like an Elvis hip thrust
Yeah.
sometimes to dodge.
Spreading his stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, God. So I think we'll continue with this next time,
Yep.
and we may smash cut to the other group,
Gotcha.
so they can get some, screen time.
Sounds good.
Um,
I sent a character.
Yes, I did. I didn't look at it. I did read it. And I was amused already. So Clintock and John Tor corralling the level 1 retainers and clingers on. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And the sword, you just got to have ID. I think you've got a couple magic things that you just don't. Castle Brackenwold, that area is pretty much the capital of like the Dolmenwood area.
Gotcha.
So they would have somebody who knows, who could identify all this shit for you.
Cool.
Of course, if you ever get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for playing.
Yeah, thanks for running.
Thanks for running, Pete.
All right. Have a
Yes.
good week.
Y'all have a good night.
It's just swimming with